Not only do we feed thousands of hummingbirds, but we also supply them with bird baths. This one's easy enough for anyone to make.
Hi everybody, it's Robbie from Southern California, and today I was in my garden looking at all the solar fountains that I put together, and I thought I really need to tell you how I made this one. But you know how it's so easy. All you need is the kit, which is the solar fountain, and the whole unit is usually $10, $15. You can put it together in any way you want. This is just a bowl and a plate. I've done the video on that, and the bush tits come in and love it. Nothing to it. This was one that was electric, and I put a solar pump in it. Somebody threw this one away because the electric pump broke. I put a solar panel and pump in it, the kit. And this was just a little angel with a bowl. Turn that into a fountain, and look at under here, a candlestick and a bowl and rocks. And you should see the goldfinches that come into all these. These are so easy to make. The whole kit's usually $10, $15. So easy to put together with found material. That was found material. I don't even know where it came from. I'm going to show you how I made this, and this has been a hummingbird magnet. So let me sit here and let me tell you, as I sit in the garden, how I made that fun hummingbird magnet fountain.
So I found this globe. I don't even know where it came from, but as you see, it's got hinges and it comes apart. So I went, oh, I can make 2 fountains out of this. And I kind of analyzed that it's round like the ball I've got in my garden where the hummingbirds just love that. They're always on it. So I thought, Kitty, let's go ahead and get a fountain made out of this. That's what I said to her when I found this. So the first thing I needed to really do was to get it apart. That's the first thing. And it's just a plastic hinge. It was that easy. So with the soldering iron, I use that, for all my planters in the garden to make holes in it. I just simply melted the hinges and removed the hinges. Quickly cut, and now I had 2 halves. Look at that. And there were other parts on it. I can easily remove anything else the same way. But the main thing I needed now, I'm going to use this 1/2 right now. This is one in the garden, is I had to make a hole for my rubber tubing. Now the rubber tubing, I picked that up at a pet store, at an aquarium store. And I did bring in parts from my solar fountain just to make sure they would slip on any of the units because they come with different parts. So you're kind of flexible on size. If it doesn't fit on one, it might fit on another. So I brought it, and that's how I bought the tubing. You can get the tubing online. The last tubing I bought was 8 by 10 millimeters, and it works. So check it out, because not all solar fountain units are exactly the same. They may be slightly different. So it is best to go into a pet store. Sometimes you can even find a big straw in your house and use that. I've actually used a straw before. But I made a hole in the top, and this way the tubing can go through. So once the hole was made, that's all I needed. Then I could slide the tubing in. And that soldering iron is my best friend. It's so easy to use, and I did that outside on my deck. That's it. It was done. Now, you just push that tube through, and if it goes through, you've got it made. Don't worry if it's a little too big. It doesn't really matter. As long as it gets through, that's all you need to do, is get that tube through. And now, because I didn't want it that smooth, I used my soldering iron to make lines, the lines in the plastic, to kind of give it a little more worn so birds can kind of grab on if they're on the side. Hummingbirds have such tiny little feet and toenails, they can grab onto it. So I simply just went around and kind of made scrape lines with a hot soldering iron. And that's what I was doing here. This way it's not completely smooth. To make sure the birds, when they land on it, it's not slippery. So it kind of gives them a good place to grip, like a perch would be, a branch on a tree. It's not smooth. More like nature. Now it's just as simple as putting the tubing through and then measuring the length that you need. And it will depend on the bowl you use. So I pulled the tubing through, and on the bottom, see that little piece? That little black part attaches to the pump, the solar pump. And that's all you need to do, is just attach the solar pump. That's it. It will slip right on. And that's what I said. If you can get a tubing to attach directly to the pump, that's fine. It comes with multiple little pieces, and whatever piece will work with whatever tubing you've got. And you just attach the pump. That's all you need. It comes with all these little gizmos that spray it different ways, but I'm not really spraying it right now. All I want is to have it run down the globe. I want to give it a ball effect, and that's it. You're ready to go. So you cut the tubing. Don't cut too short. Cut it if you need to a little longer, because once you cut it too short, you'll be going back to make another tubing. But that's all you need to do. You are ready to go, and just find your favorite bowl, a good, nice bowl that will sit in, and you'll see how it was set up in the garden. It was magnificent. I absolutely love it. Not just hummingbirds come to it. I have white-crowned sparrows come to it. All different birds, house finches come to it. But I'm going to tell you that the moment I put it out there, the hummingbirds flocked to it. It was their favorite. Now I had 2 halves, and don't worry, I used the second half, but I didn't use it solar. I used like a backup battery, phone battery, and we'll show that at the very end real quick. But there it is. Just drop it in a big bowl now, and you are good to go. You put it out in your garden, and you just wait till the birds find it, and they will love it. And like I said, that thing has been a hummingbird magnet. They just love something like that they can bathe in. I ended up using a big ceramic bowl that I found, and I prefer that. It has a little weight to it, and you can add in some different rocks and anything you want to kind of stabilize it, give it places, maybe for different birds to land on it. But you look around, I'm sure you've got a bowl, but as far as a globe, I don't know where it came from. I found it here. I looked at it and thought, well, I'm going to make a fountain for the garden with it. That's what I did. I put it outside. All the hummingbirds came to it. It was amazing the amount of hummingbirds, and all the other birds come to it, and it's so easy to clean. You just dump it and clean it. So I hope I gave you some ideas on how to make a fun solar fountain with found items in your house. And you know what? If you don't have a globe, use a bowl. You can use whatever you want. Use your imagination. Think out of the box. With that, have a wonderful day, and don't forget to eat what you grow. Bye-bye, everybody.